Is that a monkey? Oh my God! It's Kong! Oh! Oh my God! He's got a helicopter. Oh jeez! Oh my God! All those people are just dead. Oh my God! Oh my God! He's killing them. He's got a helicopter. Oh Jesus!
Brian, what are you doing? Brian, we're supposed to be filming videos.
What's going on, guys? I'm Brian.
I'm Mike.
And today we're talking about Kong Skull Island.
Definitely not the King Kong 2004 with Jack Black.
No.
Made by Peter Jackson. All his movies are long. That one's like 3 hours and 28 minutes.
Yeah, that one's like. We could probably put it on right now, and it'd probably be tomorrow morning when it's over. This one's not though. This is like it's like
2 hours and 28
probably
minutes.
2 hours, but yeah, somewhere around there. So
Yeah,
that's Kong.
that's a good one. It's got Samuel L. Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, and John C. Reilly. I think that's all of them, right?
Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, John C. Reilly,
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. Who's the fifth one? There's a fifth one in here. Nope.
Nope, got them all. Nailed them all.
Tom Hiddleston, Samuel Jackson, John Goodman, Brie
Oh,
Larson.
John Goodman.
That's
John
okay.
Goodman's the last
I
one.
was like, we're forgetting somebody in here, and John Goodman's one of the first characters we meet, legitimately.
So it follows Monarch, and they believe there's monsters out there, but the government doesn't believe them. They're like, no, we're not gonna fund that. They're like, well, we can give you proof. And so they get an expedition to this island that is uncharted, where people go to and they don't come back, or stuff goes to and disappears like the Bermuda Triangle, and
Literally looks like a skull.
looks like a skull. I'm like, man, that looks like a skull for some reason.
Like a sideways skull, though, not like an actual skull. Like profile. Yeah.
Like that. And early on in the movie, we see it's like World War II, right? World War II. And there's a plane, and it goes down, and one pilot gets out, and he runs over at this other plane that went down, only to find out that it's another soldier, Japanese soldier.
Yep.
And he shoots at him, and he misses every shot. And then the Japanese soldier pulls out his sword and chases him down. And they run through the jungle. And they're on top of this cliffside, right? And the guy's got a knife. He's got the American soldier to die. He's got this knife. He's trying to stab. And then Kong appears.
So here's the reason why Kong came in so early in the morning in the movie, because last movie they're just like, oh, well, we didn't see that much of Godzilla. If you watched our last review, literally there's 7 minutes of Godzilla, 7 to 9 minutes of Godzilla. The very first part of this movie, literally 5 minutes in, Kong shows up, and Kong is huge. They bulk him up,
massive.
and the thing is, like, later on, John C. Reilly says, oh, he's just a baby. He's still growing.
Yeah, he's still growing.
So he's gonna be freaking huge in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So, but go ahead, Mike.
So then, the guy stops trying to kill the American.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out later in the movie that the American is John C. Reilly, and the Japanese soldier, they became best friends.
Yeah.
And they lived on the island together. And then the natives it's a ship. It's like a vessel that broke down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a shrine.
Yeah.
To all the gods and stuff. And Kong's portrait is in there. And then when they're first going to the island, they're in helicopters.
Mm-hmm.
Kong wipes out the helicopters.
A good way to explain this movie is that it's literally like a 70s, 80s Vietnam exploitation film.
Yeah.
They have the giant sun in the background, it literally looks like a Japanese rising sun,
Right.
and all of a sudden you see this giant gorilla just get in front of it, and it blocks out the sun.
Yeah.
And the best part about this whole thing is they're playing war pigs, because they're dropping bombs, because they're supposed to be using this to echolocate, I guess.
Right.
To see if there's because here's the whole thing about this movie. These scientists are trying to figure out the hollow Earth theory.
Yeah.
Because they think that under the Earth there's just thousands and thousands of tunnels, which is a legitimate theory. That's a real theory that people think.
It's legit. Sounds legit.
And literally, it's John C. Reilly says, "Well, what do you expect him to do? Because he destroys these things. He literally Kong Kong is in this movie way more than Godzilla's in either. In either two of his movies, Kong's in this movie way longer.
Right.
And they actually show him fighting and surviving and being the protector of this island. Skull Island. And he really doesn't do anything except walk around and make sure that these monsters and these things are all safe. Because there's giant water buffalo, and they literally sink into the water, and then they can pop up whenever they want to. The visuals in this movie are awesome.
Right.
They're way better than what you saw in Godzilla.
Yeah, what you saw.
So Tom Hiddleston's in the movie.
Right.
Brie Larson.
Right.
John C. Reilly.
Yep.
Samuel Jackson.
Yep.
They have the Avengers in here. All they really need is to give John Goodman some sort of speaking role in one of the future Marvel movies. Then that'll be it.
Yeah.
We end up seeing Brie Larson in there, who is a photographer. These are all just minor characters. They really don't matter. Although
it's all about Kong.
And it really is all about Kong. Kong does a lot of stuff in this movie because people were like, "Well, we didn't see a lot of Godzilla. Why would we go see this Kong movie?" Because you see Kong.
Right.
He's fighting these things called skull crawlers.
I hate those things.
Oh, they're freaky. They're legitimately their skulls are protruding from their face.
Oh, the dude that gets wiped out by the one skull crawler. I can't remember his name, but he gets separated from the rest of the group, and he's walking through the forest, and he takes out his knife, stabs it in the thing, and puts his belt or whatever it is on.
Oh yeah.
That's the dude that played Dr. Doom in Fan Four Stick.
Oh god, that poor man. So actually the characters in this movie are a lot more likable than what you saw in Godzilla as well. Even just the minor characters, because they're all an army platoon, and Samuel Jackson is in this phase and in this sort of eerie transversal phase where he's just I don't want to leave the war. I've gone through too much.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything else in the world, so I want to be in a war. And he's making these guys go through all this garbage.
Yeah.
And they're all getting taken apart. Kumonga, the giant spider kaiju from the old Godzilla movies, makes an appearance in this.
Oh, is that the giant one that stabs the dude?
That's the giant
face?
spider its arms look like they're bamboo.
Yeah.
You see, this is the legitimate. There's a part to this movie that scared the hell out of me.
And that's the part.
That's one of the parts. The other part was they're in a grave site where the Kongs were buried. The rest of Kong's family, his mom, his dad, and his cousins and stuff.
Okay.
And the skull crawler is crawling around, but it's silent.
This is after it eats John Goodman with the flash.
Yes.
And you just see the flash going on.
You just see the light.
Yeah.
And then it gets brought back up to stupid level because they do a slow motion action scene with Tom Hiddleston literally just slicing these little pterodactyl things in half, and he's just doing these these crazy samurai moves because he's a mercenary and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is the epitome of a popcorn flick.
Yeah.
You're gonna if you like monsters and you like action, you like all the other stuff. Me too. You're gonna enjoy this movie.
It's good. It's a good movie. It's got good action. It's actually got a pretty good story for a monster movie.
And this is the first movie where you don't see Kong get killed.
But it was beauty that killed the beast, Brian.
It's such a weird thing even looking at it where it's oh, Kong didn't die in this movie? Holy crap.
Because there's a second when you think he did, but he didn't.
Oh yeah. The final fight, it's at least 10 minutes between the giant skull crawler and Kong. Kong literally scorpions the skull crawler. And when I mean scorpion, I mean get over here. Because he uses a propeller blade.
The chain with the propeller on the end?
Oh yeah. Here's the reason why I love Kong so much is because he actually protects people. He doesn't kill an entire city just because he doesn't want these stupid cockroaches on his territory.
Oh,
yeah. Come on. Godzilla's supposed to protect the Earth, not destroy it because you're a territorial dickhead.
It was protecting the Earth from these giant cockroach things. The city got leveled. They'll rebuild. They'll rebuild.
It got leveled.
They got the money. They can build it.
They even introduced a giant octopus, which was an actual monster from the original, from one of the original Godzilla movies.
Giant octopus that Kong eats. Sushi.
He just legitimately just eats the giant octopus. And it's all CGI, and somebody actually is mocapping Kong. He's doing all of his movements.
Yeah.
But not like how Andy Serkis did in the 2004 one, because they wanted him to look like an actual animal. In this one, he's walking on his hind legs the entire time. He never goes down. He beats his chest like Ali would do.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's walking bipedal.
Yeah.
He's able to search for his own food, which must suck because he must be hungry all the time.
Skull curlers probably taste pretty bad.
Oh, they probably do. This movie has way too. The funny thing is, this movie is actually fairly short.
Yeah.
But it also has way too much in it to actually talk about. You have to go see this movie.
Yeah.
If you want to see a good Vietnam exploitation film,
Monster movie.
And monster movie, and just a really fun, stupid popcorn flick action movie, this is your one. This is what you need to watch.
So with that being said, I give it like an 8 out of 10.
Oh, I would give this an 8 or a 9.
Yeah.
Because it's, looking at it as an actual film, like a film critic, this would be like 5.
Yeah.
But with how much fun it is, and how if you just let your mind loose and you just let it go away for a little bit,
like just turn your brain off.
Oh, this is the best movie to watch to turn your brain off, because it's nonstop.
And they're not like, oh yeah, if you were paying attention like 20 minutes ago, then the thing that they did back there triggered the thing they did up here. Like, no, I don't want that.
The soundtrack is really good because it's all 60s and 70s music, and like it's like War Pigs. They are playing just all these really cool things.
Right.
They have the shots in it are very exploitative. From
the color on it's so good.
Oh, the color's beautiful. Everything almost has an orange tint to it, but it doesn't, because they change it a lot.
Right.
There's this one scene where Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson are on a mountain, and it's pitch black outside.
Is this where like Kong pops up?
Where Kong pops up, and
it looks like, when they show Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson, it literally looks like an old 70s movie.
Oh yeah. But it's a beautiful shot, because the blue tint that they use, not where it's musty and black from the first Godzilla movie. It's a blue tint. You can still see everything though, and when they actually show Kong's face like up close, because you can tell they worked on this. You see detail. He looks awesome, and they make it look like how he could be real.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie, you can tell it's CGI. There's no uncanny valley in there. He looks like he's a CGI character, but for that one shot, he looks amazing.
Yeah.
So, I'd give it a 9. You give it an 8.
Like an 8, yeah.
Go see this movie. This movie didn't get enough praise. This movie did not get enough praise for when it came out.
Rent it, buy it, stream it, whatever you do.
If you have a 4K Blu-ray player like I do, because I unfortunately got the PS5. Because I already have the King Kong one over there, the 2004 Peter Jackson one. I'm gonna be getting the Kong.
Sure do.
So we will see you next week for Godzilla King of the Monsters, and boy do I have a lot to talk about.
Godzilla King of the Monsters, you mean The Adventures of Millie Bobby Brown?
Oh god, I can't wait to see what 11 was doing.